Hey folks, it's the Boxing Buckeye here. Hope everyone had a great Christmas and hope you're looking forward to New Year's. Hope everybody's recovering. Hope you got a week or two before the credit card bills start rolling in. Here with part 3 of my bowl predictions. Hope you caught part 1 and 2. As always, I'll kind of be reading off some notes over here, so if I'm looking away, that's what it is. I don't have a teleprompter and my memory's not that great, so I have to use notes. Basically what I'm going to do today is preview, or basically predict, all of tomorrow, which is Friday, and Saturday's games. And then sometime, probably Sunday, I will preview the New Year's Eve bowls, and then probably go ahead and squeeze in another segment with the New Year's Day bowls, and then last but not least will be my BCS predictions. So without further ado, here we go. We're going to start with the Advocare V100 Independence Bowl. That's Ohio University versus Louisiana Monroe. Actually got a good opportunity to see both of these teams play a few times this year. Louisiana Monroe was a real strong team earlier in the year. I don't know if you remember, but they had the victory over Arkansas. Almost beat Auburn. Took Baylor to task. We're just a real hot team. They cooled a little bit throughout the season. Same with OU. They were a great team early. Looked real strong, real tough. Were ranked. Had the big win over Penn State. And again, they cooled off. They got into MAC play and started, just the luck kind of went away. I do think they're a strong team. I think Frank Solich is a great coach. I love Blankenship and Tettleton. However, I'm going to go with the Warhawks on this one. I just think that they've got it in them to be a little bit better of a football team. I've seen them play on par with some of the big boys multiple times this year. So I'm going to go with the Louisiana Monroe Warhawks, 30-24 over the Ohio Bobcats. Next up, we have the Russell Athletic Bowl. That's Rutgers versus Virginia Tech. Look for a real ugly game. There's not going to be anything pretty about this game. Frank Beamer doesn't coach a real pretty game, even when his teams are playing where they should be. And this team is not playing anywhere near where Frank Beamer wants his Virginia Tech teams to play. Rutgers can also play an ugly football game. They do what they have to do to get the job done. So look for a real ugly game. I'm going to take Rutgers in this one only because, and I know this is dangerous to say, beat the team that beat the team that beat the team, but Rutgers beat UC, who beat Virginia Tech. So I'm going to give Rutgers the slight edge in a very ugly game, 20-13 over Virginia Tech in the Russell Athletic Bowl. Next, we have the Meineke Car Care of Texas Bowl, Minnesota versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech, having just lost Tommy Tuberville to the University of Cincinnati, could be reeling a little bit, but I don't think so. They've got a guy in there now. I don't know if Kingsbury is going to actually coach the game, but I still think the players are going to be excited looking forward. They've got one of their own there. I don't think they're going to drop off much without Tuberville. Minnesota, basically with Ohio State and Penn State being on sanctions this year, all of the teams in the Big Ten are basically playing 2 bowl games higher than where they should be. Minnesota should not be playing in this bowl game. They're just not on par with Texas Tech. Minnesota had a better year under Jerry Kill, but they're still not, it's not going to be pretty, I don't think. I look for Texas Tech to really put the whooping on them. I'll take Texas Tech 49-17, and that's in the Meineke Car Care of Texas Bowl. Next, we have the Bell Helicopter Armed Forces Bowl, Rice versus Air Force. 2, I think 6-6 teams. Air Force, listen, if you love option football, watch this Air Force team. They run it almost to perfection. It seems like, and when they do throw the ball, it's always perfect. You know, it's just the right time to call a pass play, and when the defense is really sucked up in there. Rice is a balanced team. I can say that for them. But I think Air Force is going to be the better team. I think they're going to beat them up a little bit. Even though the military academies generally have undersized teams, that physical style of play, will wear on most teams, and it's going to wear on Rice. I'll take Air Force 27-21 over Rice. That's in the Bell Helicopters Armed Forces Bowl. We have the New Era Pinstripe Bowl, West Virginia versus Syracuse. This game used to be played every year when both teams were in the Big East. West Virginia, of course, went to the Big 12 this year, and Syracuse will be leaving for the ACC next year. West Virginia, keep in mind, this is a team that we were talking about, their quarterback being a Heisman Trophy winner. We were talking about possibly, even 5 games in, playing for a national championship. Nobody was going to beat them. Of course, then they kind of fell off the table. They got to learn to play a little bit of defense. In this game, I don't think it's going to matter. The cold may slow Geno and company down just a touch, but I still look for West Virginia to rout Syracuse. Even in Syracuse's backyard, I'll take West Virginia 56-38 over the Orange in the New Era Pinstripe Bowl, which, by the way, is a very cool bowl game. I would love to go up there and see this game at Yankee Stadium. So many of these games are played in these southern locales, and I get it. It's nice, warm weather and everything like that, but to play a game at Yankee Stadium, I just think that's very cool. Would love to go up there and catch this game some year. Next, we have the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl, Navy versus Arizona State. Navy started out pretty poorly and really caught fire mid-season. I believe they won the Commander-in-Chief trophy this year over the other 2 service academies. Arizona State probably just got a few more horses than Navy does. I think I'll take Arizona State 34-21 over Navy. I think that Arizona State, while they're not a great team, they'll just be able to put up more points than Navy will. At the end of the day, I think they'll put up more points. Navy just not that strong this year, not one of their better years. Up next, we have the Valero Alamo Bowl. This used to be my favorite bowl game, or one of them, because this was always Big 10 versus Big 12. Loved this game. Some of my favorite bowl games were played in this location. This year, I'm actually pretty pleased with it, even though they've taken the Big 10 out of the equation on this one. Texas versus Oregon State. Before the season started, I actually wrote an article for Hailstorm Sports about defensive line duos and which teams were going to have great defensive lines, and both of these teams were on my list. The young guys at Oregon State I thought were going to have an impact year, and of course Okafor and Jackson Jeffcoat down in Texas I expected to have a big year. Well, the guys at Oregon State, Crichton and I can't remember the other gentleman's name, but they did have a good year. Oregon State's defensive line was really, really stout this year. Texas, I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if they just weren't getting any help behind them, but Texas defense just looked horrible this year. I was really, really surprised to see that. But this is a pretty intriguing game. I'm looking forward to it. This was definitely one that I circled when I first saw the bowls this year and said, hey, I don't want to miss this one. I'll take Oregon State 30-28 over Texas. That's in the Valero Alamo Bowl. I just look for Mike Riley has really got these guys to overachieve this year. He's a great coach. Not to take away from Mac Brown, but I just like the way Mike Riley coaches football. I'll take Oregon State by 2 over Texas. Last but not least, the last game Saturday, 10:15 p.m. Good Lord. Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. That's TCU versus Michigan State. I'm going to go with a homer pick here and take Michigan State from the Big Ten. Look for a real stout defensive game. I don't think it's going to be so much of an ugly game, just a good defensive struggle. In the end, I think Michigan State's going to win it. I think D'Antonio, other than the debacle against Alabama, usually gets a lot out of his teams in the bowl games. So I'll take Michigan State 16-10 over Texas Christian University. That's in the Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl Saturday night late. If anybody is watching these, I apologize for this one being so long. I apologize for it being so grainy as well. It's dark out here in the Buckeye bunkhouse. I only have some of the small lighting on. And anyway, so it's caused the tape to be a little bit grainy. But anyway, hope you all had a great holiday. Again, if you're watching these, I appreciate it. And feel free to hit me up if you want to argue, agree, or just shoot the breeze about college football. I'm all about it, especially during bowl season. Y'all take care.